Adam here with the Walser Automotive Group, and today we wanted to compare a couple of crossover SUVs. Now behind me here I have a 2023 Mazda CX-5, and on the other side I have the all-new 2023 Nissan Rogue. So what we'll do is we'll go a little in depth on the exterior, some of the drivetrain options, and then we'll cover a few things inside. Okay, so let's start with the 23 Nissan Rogue. Now this is going to be our SV trim level. There's a ton of different options and different configurations on the Nissan Rogue, but I think this is kind of the sweet spot. So again, this is the SV in the all-wheel drive. It's got a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine that's going to get you about 200 horsepower, but the awesome thing with the Rogue in comparison to the CX-5 is going to be fuel economy. Now this one through the all-wheel drive will still get you 35 miles per gallon on the highway. Now let's talk a little bit about that all-wheel drive system. This one does have a CVT transmission. Now if you're not familiar with that, it's gonna feel like kind of a rubber band effect in that you're in one constant gear. So it's never gonna feel like it's shifting or struggling for power. It's a pretty cool feature that offers a really smooth drive. Now a few other cool features on the Rogue here. You are going to notice that in the exterior it's going to be keyless entry. So I've got the key fob in my pocket here, and if I don't want to take it out when it's freezing cold in the Minnesota winter, I can just walk up to the car, click the button, hop in and go. Another cool thing is that this one also has remote start built in. So like I said, it gets cold out here in the Minnesota winters, you can click the button and that's going to get it nice and toasty for you. But if we come around to the back here, okay, so one of the coolest things on the Nissan Rogue SV is that you're going to have a power liftgate. So like I mentioned, it's going to be on the key fob and it's going to be a little button on the back here, but it makes loading up groceries, all of your stuff if you're doing cabin trips, just one click on that and you're ready to go. Now a few other cool features with this model, it does have the 60/40 split rear seats. We've all done it, you get somewhere, you buy something you weren't supposed to and you need a little bit extra room, so you can kick down one side or the other or both, and it gives you a ton of cargo space. But let's hop over to the CX-5 and we'll take a look at that one. Okay, so now looking at the CX-5, again, styling is going to be a little bit different, but kind of the same. So it's going to have the same general layout, 4 doors, plenty of space inside, but the styling on the exterior with this one, now this is the Turbo Signature, is going to be a little bit fancier in my opinion than maybe the Nissan Rogue. Now this one is going to have these cool alloy or aluminum wheels on here, and this is the turbo. So it's got a 2.5 turbocharged engine, so it's going to give you about 20 more horsepower than that, but it does sacrifice a little bit in fuel economy. Zoom still sticks with Mazda. This one does drive a little bit sportier to me and is a little bit more fun on the road, as it is a standard 6-speed automatic transmission. But same things, you're gonna have the keyless entry on this one, you are gonna have the power liftgate as well, and it's also gonna have the split rear seats. So like I mentioned, if you're hauling people around or if you need to haul some stuff, you're gonna have plenty of space for that. But let's hop inside this model and we'll start in there on the interior. So now inside the CX-5, this cabin is incredibly comfortable. Now we did cheat a little bit as this is the signature model where that's just the SV where you can go up a little bit more, but this one is so nice. All the materials feel very premium. This is gonna be a leather seat and it's kind of like a mocha brown color in this one, and it looks really cool in here. Now, as far as equipment is concerned, if you did have the same trim level on the Nissan, it would be pretty close. But since we do have the Turbo Signature today, heated, cooled seats, the ventilated seats, which is awesome for the Minnesota summers. And then when you're freezing in the winter, it's also got the heated steering wheel. Now, Mazda and Nissan are both gonna have a ton of safety. This one is gonna have an adaptive cruise control as well as a lane departure warning system in there. So if your family's in the vehicle, you can definitely feel like you guys are gonna be safe when you're on the open road. Up above, we do have our nice sunroof in this model as well, which really does open it up in here. Now, just a little bit on the technology, this one has got a kind of a little bit different setup, and you can use Mazda's little controller down here to make sure you can control all your Spotify, your Google Maps, as this does have Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. Let's hop over to the Nissan Rogue and we'll check that one out. Okay, so this is the Midnight Edition, which I didn't really touch on the outside, but it's got a cool like black accents, whether it's the grille or the wheels, and some of that does come inside as well, and this cabin is really comfortable. Now it's got kind of a darker brown or mocha, similar to the CX-5 did on the door cards and on the dash, and these seats, while they aren't real leather, it's kind of a leatherette, so if you spill like an ice cream cone on here with the kids or drinks on here, it's really easy to clean up and it wears very well. I also think these are a little bit softer, where that might be better for a road trip or kind of day-to-day use. I don't know, I guess it's subjective to see, but these do feel a little bit squishier. So on the steering wheel, this is going to have Nissan Safety Suite, which is going to be the Pro Pilot Assist. So that's going to help you when you're on the road, similar to the Mazda with its adaptive cruise control. It's going to have blind spot monitoring, forward collision warning, all that good stuff to make sure you're safe on the open road. Now this model is only going to have wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as if you work your way around in the Nissan Rogue lineup, you can get wireless Apple CarPlay, but it's one of those things once you have, it's super hard to give that up. Now it does have heated seats in here as well as a heated steering wheel, and like I said, I think the SV with the premium package is definitely the way I would go. And maybe even on the Mazda, the Turbo Signature, if you didn't want all the equipment, you could step down to a turbo and you would have a very well-equipped vehicle. Now who's the winner between the two? It really is up to you. I think the Mazda CX-5 feels a little bit more premium in the cabin, where this feels a little bit more day-to-day usable. I love the panoramic sunroof that's in this one. As far as room interior wise, in the back seat and the front seat, it's so similar, it really is a toss-up. Whether it's fuel economy, reliability, both are gonna be pretty similar. And again, looks can be subjective, but we'll let you decide which one you think is best. All right, so like I said, that's just a quick look at these two models. Now, like I mentioned, there's a ton of different trim levels and equipment. You can load them up to be pretty similar, so it really breaks down to which one do you like, which warranty is best for you, and get behind the wheel. See which one you want to drive and which is most comfortable for your lifestyle. Thanks for watching.